It's been a month at this point, and we have no answers. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer, everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. The David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez situation. I know that it's not the most popular topic here on my channel, but I am extremely interested in this case, so I wanted to put a video out discussing something that I saw on Twitter. A lot of, again, my viewers know who SF Investigates is, and he has been following along with this David and Celeste situation because he actually lives in California, and he lives not far from where David's rental house was, where the Tesla was found. Now, he's also gone in and tried to find more of a digital footprint when it comes to Celeste. He's even tried to join into some Discord groups and try to get to some more information. Now, the most recent bit of info when it comes to him trying to find out the last actual time she was heard from is really, really interesting. Now, when it comes to the timeline that I'm thinking, or at least have been thinking up until reading Steve's post, is that something would have had to have happened at the end of July, because he was in California. David was in California at the end of July. Then he was in Arizona. Then he was back in California. And there was like 3 days in between August the 2nd's show and August the 5th show, which again was at the exact same place in California, the same little location and everything. There was a 3-day period, but also the fact that some of the things that we were hearing from, I know TMZ, but for some reason the family is actually talking to TMZ. So we're just going to leave that wherever you want to leave it. But there has been a lot of people talking about how her actual friends and family had actually been in contact with her. Even though she was still considered a missing person, that case had never been closed. They were talking to her. And there's been a lot of other things that have come out that have really messed up the timeline. It's really difficult to know exactly where we need to be looking. I don't know what to think about this because there's so much back and forth and so many things that don't make any sense whatsoever. There's also some rumory things that I've read about how they had actually broken up at some point, that maybe she was planted in his Tesla by somebody else who wanted to blame it on him. And I guess that's a possibility, because at this point, the cops haven't arrested him. And how? I don't know. So they must know something that we don't. The relationship between the two of them is really, really questionable too. But we can get into that subject and a few theories on that in another video. Let's talk about the timeline for now, because again, they told us that her body was very decomposed. It has never really been described as being in one piece. There's been several different back and forth reports on that. And as of now, as of the time that I'm recording this on October 7th, 2025, there has been a funeral. Her body was returned to her family, released to her family. There was a funeral. I know there was a little bit of an issue because apparently it was supposed to be on one date and then that went away and there was no word about what was happening. But we did finally see proof that there was a funeral service and that was done. She was laid to rest, but we are still at no answers. The toxicology report is still not back. We have a few more weeks on that, I believe. And yeah, nothing. We have a not yet able to turn 15-year-old child's body found in the front of a Tesla that had been basically abandoned in a very rich area of the Hollywood Hills for what seems to have been possibly months at this point. Not only because of the way they've described her body, but because of this post. Let's go ahead and just get to what Steve has to say. 2 days ago, on October the 5th, Steve posted this. I'm starting to believe that the information I received claiming a family member messaged with Celeste in July was incorrect. Whether that's accidental or intentional by the family member, I'm not sure. There's no trace of Celeste after early 2025 that I can find. And again, he's a licensed private investigator in several states across the country. The parties attended by a family member were in 2024 during the missing but not really missing time. And yeah, there was a picture of her at some sort of family gathering, family dinner, family event. So Again, just more stuff that's coming back and forth that's really messing with the actual timeline. The Tesla's Texas registration expired in January of 2025 because, again, David is from Houston, Texas. The Tesla was bought in his hometown area. It was ticketed twice in late February 2025 in Hollywood, then not again until it was impounded. I can't find any trace of Celeste since very early 2025, although I fully admit that some sharp people on Reddit and YouTube are more dialed into her digital footprint through the Discord server activity and may have signs of her in 2025 I'm not aware of. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if something may have happened to Celeste many months ago, early in the year. Being in a weather-sealed compartment that has very little oxygen and no insects, both very important components of decomposition, yes, greatly slows the biological decomp process even in high temperatures. Could this have happened as far back as February or March? I would love to know the dates of credible last sightings of her, because again, the concert in, I believe it was Maryland, where there's a girl that looks just like her, just like her, in the balcony at his concert, couldn't have been her. Her body was way too decomped to have been a week and a half old, okay, in that condition. And they've also flip-flopped that. So honestly, we don't know if it's really her or not. I guess we can really say that. We don't know. But for the state that we have heard that her body is in, it wouldn't make any sense. But it makes the fact that she was there in that balcony visible, like she was somebody important on, in the backstage scene, after we already know that Celeste would have, been dead, is an interesting thing. Especially if you really dig deep into David's alt personality problem issue thing. Yeah. Now, of course, there's a lot of people claiming that, oh, she was seen here in late 2024. Oh, she was seen here in summer of 2025. But of course, there's no proof being shown. There's no receipts to anything. Now, of course, the police are the ones that are going to be able to find that information. Apparently, Celeste was known for not only having different fake IDs, but also for completely scrubbing her social media, going completely MIA. Again, she was young. A lot of the stuff with her started, at least the relationship between her and David when it comes to them knowing each other, when she was like 10 or 11. So for her to be so, easily camouflaged, able to become a chameleon in these situations is insane to me. But, at this point, since she would have died before she turned 15 and they met whenever, she was around 10, maybe 11, but, everything's pointing to 10. She got a good 3.5, 4 years of practice into this with people that had a lot of money to put into all of those things, the fake IDs, the scrubbing of the internet, making sure it's all good to go. The question is why? I don't know if we're ever going to know that answer, especially since anything with David, nothing's being talked about. He hasn't made a single statement about, yes, I knew her. I knew that she came maybe from a bad home. I was trying to save her. None of those types of things are coming out, which again, I find interesting that there's just like nothing besides denial coming from that camp. Because there's been some proofy type things come out about his manager, and the manager's just like, no, it's all false. So again, there's like no answers to anything, but I wanted to know what you guys were thinking about the possibility that she might have been in there for months. Again, the registration went out in January of 2025. It received 2 parking tickets in February of 2025, again in Cali. But that's it. And that's not even coming from the police. That's coming from people posting stuff on the internet, looking themselves. Insane. But again, I want to know what you guys think about the possibility of her maybe being gone for months and not just a few weeks. The way that, it's sort of been alluded to so far. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. If you liked the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.